which is different every day. And I don't use outboard at all. I just use the desk and everything internal. And I kind of like that sort of having everything in one box and having to make it all work out, you know, and a small footprint. And obviously promoters love you because you're going to be in the smallest footprint possible, so they can get more people in, they make more money. But for me,
any plugins at all?
Just what's on the board, just the effects on the board, nothing else, you know. And just
how often are they updating it, Allen and Heath? How often do the updates come?
This we haven't come across yet. I mean,
he said that they'd just done a firmware update, like about 2 weeks ago, and there's a couple of things that he was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that, and he was showing us. And it's just workflow stuff. It's really
which is set the desk up, plug in, wait for the
run the cable,
run the cable, run the cable. I mean, it takes me more time putting up the mic stands and putting the mics and cabling up on stage than it does to actually do the engineering side.
Digital mic stands.
You know, virtual.
Virtual mics. It's been really, because we've taken, I suppose what you call a half production. We've got half of the lights are ours, and all the stage boxes, cables, stands, mics, in-ear racks, everything's ours, and the desk and everything's ours. So I guess apart from taking a PA and the staging, it's half production, which is great.
Which is
sort of take that desk out to different sort of venues, right?
Not a problem at all. I think any kind of venue I could just turn up, and especially you know, smaller clubs. Some of the equipment they have in there really, you know, it looks fire damaged quite often. You know, you can just turn up with this board, just plug it in so simply, and it's, you know, it's got everything you need: good effects, good gates, good compressors. You know, and you're not relying on a load of old. I can't even pronounce. I'm not going to pronounce the name, but some manufacturer's equipment, which is all silver and begins with B.
And you open it up and there's nothing inside it apart from one PCB.
And you know, so you've got everything in this one board, and you can just turn up into a small club and you can do a good show. When you really start pushing the desk, it's not digital and it's not analog. It's something completely. It's really odd. I'm stood there and I'm trying to work out what is this, you know, and it sounds great.
It does. The EQ is so smooth, and you know when you're on another desk, I won't say the names, but it takes a little time for the EQ. You can hear it click in. Same with the pre's. This you can. It feels. It's got a totally analog feel, and the EQ is so smooth. It's lovely. You just. The guitars were a little bit. Last night, Rob came up. The guitarist, he said it's just lacking a bit of definition. So I just dialed in a tiny bit of 4K, like 2 or 3 dB, and it was just sweet, smooth, perfect. He was like, perfect. That's what you want. It's happy band, happy punters, you know.
Happy engineers.
Yeah.
Few and far between.
Exactly. You said you persuaded Florence the Machine to get rid of the monitors on stage.
Yeah, that was brilliant. Took us about a month. Of leading up to it, telling them how amazing it was going to be, and it's going to be like this amazing and they were really excited about it. By the time we got onto it, they were really excited, so we had the pre-production day, and the last person was Mark. He was the bass player, because we were a bit like most bass players I've worked with don't want to have ears because they want to be able to feel it, but he's standing right in front of his bass amp now, and we got him on yesterday, and he absolutely loved it. Last night he went out, got drunk, came back, and was just all over it. It was brilliant.
How many mixes are you running for the band?
6 stereo mixes. That's great. It's dead easy, really. Like, not everyone, because one brilliant thing I must say about the desk was Leon set up this thing so that when I'm PF, because Mark was on wedge and everyone else was on ears, he set up this thing so that I could both my listen wedges are up, my listen faders are up, but whatever mix I choose mutes either the ears or the wedge, depending on if it's a wedge send or a ear send. So it's brilliant. So I was just like, listen to that mic. Yep, brilliant, fantastic.
I think my thing that I like, the cleverest little invention on there, and I mean it's just a tiny little thing that no one's ever come up with, is just PFLing your channel on the desk, and on the stage box on the brain, that channel lights up. So person instantly knows where to plumb into. So if
It's
you're
in the wrong channel.
if you're in a festival, the majority of the problems come from the patch. People patching at speed. You know, there's people running around, and that's what makes all the delays, and it can get turned into a real bun fight. That little idea of just that little light turning up is just
It's genius.
Yeah.
I think loads of cool stuff that it does. The effects are brilliant as well,
Yeah,
though.
the effects
It's got
are
EMT
amazing.
plates, all the Lexicon stuff, all the Yamaha stuff. It's like the Digi-Design stuff. You know, when you go in and you've got all the models.
It sounds great.
It does.
Yeah.
The
Section is, it's like every venue we've been into, the house engineers have just gone, oh, I love the effects on that. You know, and they might have been on the VI6 or whatever, but they're all really, you know, those effects are.
The quality.
They sound expensive.
Yeah.
You know?
Usually you get either too bright or too diffused or not enough diffusion and stuff, or dull, whatever.
It just doesn't work.
Yeah, and
know?
it's perfect.
Yeah.
It's perfect. And again, you can do on my board. You can have the fader flip for the effect. So if you just want to reverb on a different reverb in Florence's vocal, and just hit the send mix, send it to that, back to her mix, then take it out again on the fader. It's brilliant. It's like proper old school.
It sounds great.
It does.
Yeah. I mean, the day when it turned out we were like kids.
I know.
We were just like walking around. You should be here now.
You're not you yet. It's brilliant.
Yeah. You know, and then got out of the box. And it was
brilliant. I was like, "Are you alright, Dave?" "Yeah, I think so." Yeah, I think so. I don't know. And then the next day, he was like, "Oh, this is amazing." It is really, really good. I mean, I can't.
It's a revolutionary product for Allen and Heath.
For them, without a shadow of a doubt, it takes them into that upper echelon of quality. I think it's not that. I mean, it's not cheap. It's not like £5 desk in, but I mean, it's like a fully 50-80 grand system. We've got something, isn't it? Something about that. It's quite expensive, but I mean, it's not as expensive as getting a £500,000 Midas board or even a couple of VI6s. But it's got a lot. The footprint's a lot smaller. Like for example, the Shepherd's Bush Empire, we can fit our front of house desk in between the Midas and the lighting console without having to do it, because they want to charge you £2 to remove it all, because they've got to get their specialist removers and stuff. But we can just fit it in, which is great. It's taking your own production to these things is really tough usually, but it's been great. All over it. It's brilliant.